Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. We are live on Twitch and YouTube. We'd love it if you'd come over and hang out, like and subscribe. We have a great YouTube channel with tons of cartoons, behind-the-scenes content, and if everything goes right today, hopefully we'll have our videos of all of our content on Spotify soon.
Whoa.
Yeah, just like just like old Red Rogan has.
Yeah,
just like Red Rogan.
So watch it on Spotify now. It's like, all right, well,
okay,
watch it
but
on
I was
YouTube.
watching it on YouTube, but
Or
then I told you
Twitch.
about Twitch too. You know? We're just gonna put it everywhere. I'm gonna just send it straight. Just email it straight to your house.
All the pennies are going to add up over time.
That voice you hear is Chris Crespo. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
So
Love me some Chris Crespo. Now you
love
came
you
in a
guys.
little low. You're like, hey guys.
Hey,
How's it going? You
guys.
all right?
I was like, I'm doing pretty
all
well,
right?
man. Well, yesterday was Father's Day, and I'm part of the Dead Dads Club. So
Okay.
good time.
Yeah. I blocked it out until you said something. Thanks a lot.
We got to all be in it together, man.
Yeah,
Come
we
on.
are.
We can't.
It's a weird day for me. I do have to block it out.
Yeah, sure.
Or I'll get real sad. So
I'm-
that anytime my daughter says something, I'm just like, I'm doing that. Whatever you say goes. Can't think about my dad.
100%. Yeah. I get that.
my dad's dead too.
I know. That's what I'm saying. The
And
three of us.
his died the most violent way. Like his,
Yeah.
legitimately
The saddest, craziest way
straight
of the
tragedy.
three. Yeah. Wild.
Totally sad.
So
Great start. This is a great
Good to
start.
see you guys. That's
Good
why I'm
job.
here.
This is great. We
That's
got
why
that
I'm-
out of the way.
That's the
All
vibe
right,
that
we're
I
good.
bring
We
to
got
the
it.
party.
We're good. We got it out of the way.
Oh, and one day I'll die.
Yeah.
We'll die.
Will die. Will die.
So will everybody.
Everyone will die.
Everyone will die.
That's like the audio for 20 years later.
Great segue. Great segue. This is why I love you, because I know when Chris comes in here that he's going to yes and with us and have fun. Like, I know he's down for whatever.
I'm game, man. Let's
A
do
guy
it.
with a flowery shirt that has Newman on it and shooting glasses on, you know he's down to have fun. I love me some Chris Crespo.
Down the clown.
Oh, by the way, let's plug your podcast quickly. If people want to really listen to a great movie podcast instead of me like really stinking up movies, where can they find your podcast?
My podcast, Cinema Crespodiso. You can find free episodes if you just search Crespodiso, but I'm on patreon.com/Crespodiso.
Go support local.
And there's also Who's the Baddie, featuring, developed by our boy Matt. We have an episode coming up soon with our man Tom Van came back. We did an awesome episode on Demolition Man. That'll be
At
come
this
out
point,
next
he's just
month.
inviting himself to your show.
Oh, please do.
Yeah. I got a new one planned too.
Perfect.
I got a new one planned too,
Yeah,
because
so-
I went and saw Friendship.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break that
Yeah,
one.
we're gonna
down.
have to break that down a
I
little bit.
heard your response, your viewing experience. Yeah, I'm interested in seeing.
I hated it. Yeah.
I know.
And it was my fault.
Interesting.
The reason I hated it was purely, and I've analyzed this to no end.
Yeah.
because I'm such a Tim Robinson fan.
Sure.
It's 100% my fault. I made so many mistakes. I watched the trailer, and then I took the trailer, and I created in my mind what the movie should be, and then I went to the movie, and that
yeah.
just doesn't work.
Yeah.
And if I just gone in without watching the trailer, I probably would have loved it.
That helps sometimes.
I screwed it all up.
Yeah.
I screwed it all up, and this is why I hate movies. And you know what? I think I'm the problem in a lot of things. Morgan Wallen. Yeah, I'm the problem.
Oh, there you go. No, that's Taylor Swift is I'm the problem. It's me. Morgan Wallen is I'm the problem. So why'd you bother hooking
you're
up
right.
with me?
It's a different.
So you're the problem, actually.
Yeah, I'm a Taylor, not a Morgan.
Yeah, you're
right.
a Taylor. Much better.
You're right.
Now, are you going to have to go back and watch the ending of it to do the full movie?
In order to punish myself for doing the movie incorrectly, yes, I will go back, and when it's released,
Yeah.
I will go and finish it.
It's an A24, right?
Yeah.
So it'll be on streaming within 45 days, especially because it didn't make that much money. So the less money a movie makes in theaters, the quicker it comes out. Accountant 2 came out within like 3 weeks of theatrical release. The quicker it bombs, the quicker we'll see it. So it'll be available for us to stream.
Very good.
So do we want to start off with Friendship? Do we want to, I know we made a mention of 28 years later.
Well, yeah, 28 years later, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It comes out next week, I think.
Let's jump into
actually.
that.
I've been
Let's-
looking forward to that for a while now.
Yeah, now let's, this is movie number what in this particular horror franchise?
What, number 3?
3, yeah.
The third film.
28 days, 28 weeks, and 28 years.
Now,
Yeah.
I will, and you guys correct me, I have only heard about this franchise. People that like this franchise really like it. I don't hear much bad about anything 28 related. Like, if it's got 28 on it and it's a horror movie, normally people go like, oh, I love this.
There's also the 28 Days Sandra Bullock movie, the prequel, where she's in a... People don't know it's a prequel. She's in a rehab center for 28 days. She meets Viggo Mortensen, plays a baseball player. In the background, there's like zombie stuff happening. And then it's 28 days later, and 28 years.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
I think
No,
cool.
that's a real movie.
Yeah, no, that is a real movie, but he's like...
There's a movie
Oh,
called 28 Days that came out before.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a weird.
A lot of people don't know that these movies, like the first one came out when?
2001 or 2, something like that. 2002 maybe.
And that was the one based in the military.
That one has the military in it,
Yeah.
and it's Cillian Murphy. It's his first lead role, and it's shot on like digital video, 2002 digital video.
Yeah.
So if you look at it now, it looks very low rent and inexpensive, like it should. But it also has a very specific aesthetic that you can't recreate now because it's digital video from that time period. It's a weird rewatch.
I never thought
Visually.
about how movies will age differently compared to the digital cameras.
The quality of
Yeah.
the cameras. Those were the best, like prosumer digital cameras at the time, and you look at them now, and they're worse than our phones, which is fascinating. You know, quote worse, just lower resolution.
It was one of the first movies they had the fast zombies, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
And then there's also the debate: are they really zombies? Which I mean, they essentially they're zombies.
infected.
Yeah, they're infected. It's a zombie movie. It has all the tropes of it. But yeah, they're fast. I mean, that came first, and then Dawn of the Dead, the remake, was like 2 or 3 years later, which then blew it up even more. The whole fast zombie thing, which is cool. I like they're scary.
You also
chasing
you get infected fast.
Very
like,
fast.
If you,
There it is.
Yeah.
you know, the old blood drop in the eye
Yeah.
in the first
yeah.
movie.
And
it's
you go
like
wild.
And then it's like you're blinking. By the time you blink it out, you're already infected.
Yeah, it's
going
already
crazy.
coursing through your body. Yeah, that's probably the scariest moment of that first movie.
Pretty terrifying.
With just a drop in the eye randomly, and
Yeah.
now you're done for. Oh, so sad.
And it's also the way that person is infected is that's a pretty I don't know, for whatever reason anything in my eye is disgusting to me.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because they were so vulnerable there. That's
Yeah.
soft and gooey, and
You don't think about that.
Yeah,
Like I remember when friends would say like, "Hey man, you want to do acid? I put it in my eyes." I'd be like, "No, thank
No,
you.
thank you.
What?
I'm not that guy.
No way.
Leave my eyes alone. My eyes are exit only."
They-
Write that down. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. I'm gonna put it on my glasses. These eyeballs are exit only.
So another thing from this movie that Crystal showed me was this weirdo audio that is like old school propaganda.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
play
you
it.
can play
Yeah,
it.
I didn't mean to
It's
fire
like-
it off that
yeah,
quick.
it's
like
good. It's
boots,
moody. Yeah,
boots.
yeah.
It's a weird thing.
Okay, here
it
is
is super creepy. I didn't realize it was actually from some real
thing.
historical
Yeah,
thing.
this
Yeah,
is
it's a
a
real
poem
thing.
by Rudyard Kipling named Boots. There's no burp.
Oh, it's a parentheses.
Foot, slogging over Africa. Boots, moving up and down again. There's no discharge in the war. 7, 6, 11, 5, 9 and 20
Come in, Rangoon. Come in, Rangoon.
It's weird.
This is ship number 5. Ship number 5. American GIs. American GIs. This is not a fruitful battle for you. At home, your wives are cheating on you, American GIs.
Could you imagine the real person who wrote this poem and then people sitting around, like even showing it to people, are like, ooh,
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, my
It's
God,
like,
he's
what
gonna
the
go
heck?
read Boots to me again. Could you please not read that before I go to bed?
This is weird.
But
For
this-
a horror movie, it's great.
You know,
but,
that was
Yeah.
a time. There was
the
a
hell?
time when you, me, Chris, if you had kids and you had a dinner party, at the end of dinner, you'd have everybody would gather in the parlor, and then I'd get Maisie out there, and I'd be like, "Hey, go up there and read that creepy Boots poem."
Go read
And then she'd get
Boots.
up there, and then she'd I'd tap on my glass, ding, 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 ding. Hey, can I have your attention, please?
Mile today, 4, 11, 17, 32 the day before. Boots.
And then everybody clap, and they go, yeah!
We're all standing around with our
Great job,
drinks.
Great job.
Excellent reading of
Yeah.
Boots.
Thank you, Maisie, for your
Reading, and now Tommy Van is going to play the Calliope.
Han Hopsichord.
You know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you would do for
You know,
entertainment.
Honestly, a better time.
I think so.
Yeah.
Easier time.
Way easier. It is creepy in the initial teaser. I mean, like people have talked about it. It's fun how it's also like kind of. I mean, in what other context would a Rudyard Kipling reading of a poem from 1915 like be relevant in 2025? But like even just this. Us talking about it now, it's funny how it's now a discussion. This thing has lasted over 100 years.
And that's him. It's him reading the.
It's someone else reading it,
Oh, it
apparently,
is?
in this particular recording, which is from 1915, and it's.
How do you license that?
I think it's public domain at that point, isn't it? 19. If it's that
Yeah,
old.
A lot of things are.
Yeah.
Every year, I know Libsyn Podcast, who we host with, every year at the end of the year, like in December, they'll do a show, and they highlight all of the new audio
domain
that will
stuff.
be public domain that podcasters can use, and it's all garbage.
It is
it's,
bad.
It's all like really spooky. Like if you want spooky sounds, if you want like old music that sounds like somebody's
Because what it goes
somebody
back to
stab
what?
at a haunted house, like you can get it.
It's like the 23 right now, 1922, 23 is how far back
Yeah.
it goes, where the line is. So
Yeah.
it's still like all
That's why we
like
got the-
ghostly sounding stuff.
That's why we got the Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
The
That's why-
Popeye horror movie.
Yeah, that's why we're getting a lot of that, because a lot of those really old tales are
they're starting to drop in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they're creepy.
they are creepy.
Yeah, just
But-
because
yeah.
of how old they are.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so out of time for us. So yeah, playing that in a modern trailer now, really like it makes your skin crawl a little. It's a weird thing. And then what the poem is, it's supposed to be the inner thoughts of British troops marching through Africa during a war, and it's just like the repetition of the march and how boring it is and unending the marches and the wars. That's why it has that specific cadence and stuff. It's actually pretty interesting, history to the poem itself. So what are they saying with the marketing? Are they actually saying something? Did someone just find a creepy audio and be like, ooh, just play this? It'll make people talk about, our movie like we are right now. So was it just slick viral marketing or whatever,
Well, let's move on to a movie I saw over the weekend
Nice.
it just came out. A lot of people are excited about it. It was How to Train Your Dragon.
Sure.
Brought my
Still,
sons.
always, whenever they say that, the title of that, I always think of penises. And I will forever think of penises whenever anybody says, hey, how you train your dragon? I train mine by getting it wet. Hey, how you train your dragon? I train mine every day, mother. I don't know.
That's just where your brain goes.
That's
who you are.
I'm at a maturity level now where I'm locked in, and this is it.
Yeah.
This is all you get.
Hey, it's a fun maturity level to
Yeah.
be at.
Now, I may be unique in the fact that I never saw the first one or any, I
Okay.
never.
Well, there's multiple, right?
There's-
I think
There's a trilogy. There's an
Yeah.
animated trilogy. This is a remake, a live action remake of the first one.
Yeah. So I know,
No, nothing going into it.
Yeah. Besides from just all the commercials, and then obviously an epic universe from just seeing
Sure,
like
The only thing I don't like, I only have one complaint with this franchise, and it's the dumb names for everybody. Now, other
They
than
do
that,
have
it's
dumb
great.
hiccup.
Other
and,
than that,
yeah,
it's great.
A lot of them
I
have
just
dumb
don't
names.
like, and I'm just being honest with you. The characters are all great. The story is great. I love the we don't understand the dragons, but Dad, I'm going to teach you about them.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love all of that. But your names are all
I
dumb.
think so too.
They're all
Okay.
weak ass. They're weak ass names.
Yeah.
Don't name me Hiccup. I'll kill myself if you name me Hiccup.
Okay, so
I'll do it.
Boy named Sue.
Yeah.
Boy named
I'm
Hiccup.
not, it doesn't make you tougher.
I'm
No.
glad you mentioned this because
I hate their names.
it
But the characters are great.
So I'm going to Sweden, and I was asking Crystal what her family's names are, and going through just to try
Oh
to
my
memorize
God. Please
them.
tell me there's not a hiccup.
There's
No,
a stoic,
no, but
stoic.
Oh my
They're-
God.
Swedish names are unlike what we're used to.
This is Horkin,
It is different.
And this is Vlaskenberg.
I know a guy named Bjorn. Yeah,
Like-
Bjorn
Yeah.
Bjornsson or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy name.
Yeah, there's one that's
Harsh.
like
Harsh Katani.
this
Larschengarten.
It's like Jurj. Like that's Jurj.
Yeah.
Jurj.
George. That's a great name.
It's just like
Oh,
Jurj.
George.
It's like a tough George.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tougher George.
Yeah,
It's a
tougher George is
George.
George.
And then
Georgie.
and then
Georgie,
there's
pudding
something-
pie.
I'm having problems pronouncing them, so I think
Well, you
because-
can't even say regular name.
No, I know, but because
Oh,
this is
yeah.
like Vikings and from that area, it's like I think that's why they
Yeah.
have such weird names. You know?
Sure, yeah, the descendants of the people of the Isle of Burke.
I was
But
kind
it
of
was good.
hoping that
Dragon.
for the live action that we would slough off the baby names, but it wouldn't have as much brand power if once a hiccup, always a hiccup.
Yeah,
I guess.
they're stuck with Hiccup.
Yeah,
Once that
it's-
book was written, they were stuck with Hiccup.
100%.
Yeah.
This has got to be that way.
So I mean, not having seen the OG, what you think? You
That was
enjoyed the
good.
film?
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good.
I thought
I thought the trailer, and I've sworn off trailer, so that'll probably be the last one I see because I
Sure.
watched it before Friendship.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer with the Viking Breaking Dad and a whole nine, the way they kind of roll out the story, I'm like, I know exactly what this is.
Yeah.
I know what I'm hooking myself into. There are no twists and turns, right? You get exactly what you want.
Well, yeah, and you
It
get
is
the
exactly. Though,
yeah.
At least that's what Crystal told me. She's like, it's exactly.
It's the first movie with like an extra 20 minutes of character stuff, essentially, and they even got the same director of the animated
That's
film,
cool.
which is they don't normally do that with these sort of animated to live action movies. They usually find a new person.
the same actor that plays the dad,
Gerard Butler.
Gerard
They got him. They got a handful of actors to come back for sure, which is interesting. I love that Gerard Butler's in it. I love that dude. He's one of my. He's like modern day, your Seagal, Stallone, Van Damme, those movies of the 80s and 90s.
He didn't burn as long for us, though. I feel like we got gypped a little bit.
Who, Butler?
Yeah,
no,
he
he's
did,
still,
but-
he's still going. But a lot of his stuff is direct streaming or whatever. People
Yeah.
they see the movies called Plane. Like, I'm not watching Plane.
Yeah.
Guys, you got to watch Plane. It's such a good movie. It's so much fun, and he's so good in it. I love those movies, the Jason Statham movies,
Yeah.
like Working Man and Beekeeper. I love that crap because it's like they used to make that stuff in the 80s with the action stars of the 80s. We talked about that a bit in our Demolition Man episode. So yeah, I love that he's in it. I love that he's coming back. I love the marketing. They had the cast go to Isle of Berk here at Epic Universe, and seeing Gerard Butler walk around a theme park is a very weird thing. Like, that's the guy from 300.
What's
He's
he look like now? Because I know he's not doing he's in great shape, but I don't know. He's not in the 300 fitness.
No,
anymore.
he's in good shape now. Sometimes he looks puffy. Like when he does the Den of Thieves movies, for some reason, he looks puffy in
What
those.
is he, a cop in those?
He's a cop. Yes, he's fully a cop in those. They're like heat light. They're like heat,
Did you know
but
that
for
my
meatheads.
original goal in entertainment was to be so popular that I got to do a movie with a rapper?
That was
originally
a
like
big
a
crossover,
weird goal.
like you and Ja
My dad
roll
told
together.
Me, my dad told me that on his deathbed. He's like, whatever you do a movie with a
With Busta
rapper
Rhymes.
turned actor.
Yeah. There's a lot of them.
And the one he really wanted was Chamillionaire, but he didn't make it.
He picked the wrong horse on
Yeah,
that
he
one.
did, he
Should have
did.
said RZA.
So, Chris, I want to ask you about this next movie that Crystal told me about. and
Oh, real
because-
quick, did the
yeah.
boys like it?
Oh yeah, they like it.
okay,
yeah.
great.
Cool.
But
It'd be
essentially-
funny if you were like, it's great. They were like, it
This
sucks.
thing.
No,
we
yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
animated one. I'm gonna go see it.
And
I'm hoping to go
Crystal's-
see it next weekend myself.
Crystal's seen both. What does she like better?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't ask her what she liked better, but she essentially
liked
said it's the first movie.
Okay.
Just real live action.
Sure, sure.
Which
Hey,
is cool.
I like it.
Yeah,
yeah, it's cool. I'll take any more Toothless. I'll take all the Toothless.
The effects are
Dragon's
cool. It's filmed in Northern Ireland, which is
beautiful.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like-
nice. Yeah,
Well,
beautiful.
Super scenic.
Yeah.
I mean, just this, like, they do a lot of, when I'm guessing drones now,
Yeah.
where they fly through underneath crazy arches that
Yeah.
are created by ocean, and then, like, it just, like,
Beautiful.
it's very grandiose.
Sure.
And then obviously the CGI they use is really good.
Yeah,
Dragons look
for the
good.
dragons.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to do photo real at that point too, which is a weird thing. It's the same with Lilo and Stitch, where these are quote live action remakes of animated movies, but watching the trailers, I'm sure watching the movie, you never think that Lilo is real or that the dragons look real, right? I mean, they look animated to a degree. At least they do in my mind.
I will say that it's blatantly obvious that they were like, well, these are dragons, but we got to make the one that the boy rides cute looking.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like we
Because
gotta,
they're for kids.
Yeah.
We
We,
gotta
can't make him look like a bloodthirsty killer.
Yeah, this isn't Game of Thrones.
But,
yeah,
but the other ones they make it look like
Yes.
dragons, but
that's always been.
Yeah, the main one we got to give it a cute puppy dog face.
big eyes. Yeah. He's so
But
cute.
also, it's got to be tough. Like
Oh,
when
yeah.
push comes to shove.
The Night Fury.
Yeah,
man.
He's got to be able to.
He's got to be the
throw
Night Fury.
down. Okay, no spoilers. All right.
No. Love to.
Next movie.
So this movie Crystal told me about, and she's like, oh, like they're advertising it as if you liked all these quintessential 80s movies with it's the life of Chuck. Because,
Stephen
Stand
King.
By Me.
I haven't seen this.
yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen the Life of Chuck stuff, but I haven't seen that they're comparing it to like.
Because it's Stephen King.
Because it's Stephen King,
and
yeah.
the same, the
Yes.
Stand By Me and they rattled off a bunch of other iconic movies.
Yeah.
And then
Did they say the Green Mile? They throw that in there, maybe?
they may have done it, but it was more like Stand By Me and like some other ones
Yeah.
that and then I'm like, man, it couldn't. I mean, they named off like 3 super iconic movies, and I'm like, this couldn't be as good because I haven't heard anybody excited about it. You know.
Yeah,
You know, it's like-
now that is true. I have not
Like,
heard anybody say they're.
Movie marketing these days is really hard. How do you hear about everything, especially now during the summer?
Yeah.
I happened to I saw this movie yesterday.
Oh, wow.
really? Okay.
I saw The Life of Chuck. Marissa, my girlfriend, she is a big fan. We both are. We're big fans of Mike Flanagan, the director, who does horror stuff. He did the Netflix Haunting on Hill House and Midnight Mass and all those shows, and he adapts Stephen King stuff. So he did Gerald's Game and Dr. Sleep, and he's very good. I really like him, really like his style. And Life of Chuck is...
Dr. Sleep is what I call EJ stand-up.
Got him.
Thank you, Chris, thank you for providing these opportunities.
Hey, you're welcome. That's why I'm here. I tee him up, buddy, and you knock him out. So Life of Chuck is a kind of recent short story from Stephen King. That's one of his few. He makes them, but not that many. Few non-horror short stories. So it is like maybe a Stand By Me or a Green Mile, where there's still something dark happening, maybe, or even maybe a little cosmic or supernatural. But it's mostly just about characters and people, and doesn't lean into the horror. But Mike Flanagan can't help himself. The first 30 minutes of this movie is kind of terrifying, like especially when he compare it to the world at large. But then it's this whole movie about this guy named Chuck, and it tells his life in reverse chronological order in 3 sections, and Tom Hiddleston's really in the middle section. And it's like, this is one where I didn't really watch any trailers. I knew very little going into it. Speaking of the marketing, you're like, who's excited about this?
Were you happy
Yeah.
about that? Were you happy that you kind of came in blind?
Yeah, I was, because going in, all I knew is that it's Tom Hiddleston. It's these people I talk about, Flanagan, Stephen King. It's not horror. So I wasn't expecting any sort of really heaviness to it at all. I thought it was going to be kind of maybe a lighthearted movie about a guy who affects everyone's lives, in a positive way. It's the life of Chuck. Everyone likes Chuck. So I was completely surprised by how the movie begins, what it's actually about, how it does go to some places I was not expecting. I was expecting something more maybe sentimental, maybe a little saccharine.
Yeah.
And I was getting for sure much more adult, kind of dark but still hopeful. It's a very interesting movie. I don't want to give away any details, because part of the fun for me was not having all those details, and then seeing this movie and all the way up until the end, kind of trying to figure it out.
Chat room saying that too. Chat room says, my wife and I kept thinking it was going to make a hard left at the end into a horror thriller or something. Yeah.
It teased up a lot of stuff where it's like, where is this gonna go? And then when it was over, it's both me and Marissa were like, very interesting. And we talked about it a bit, and it's always fun when a movie leaves you with something to be like, fully enjoyed it.
Great.
And it helps it go. And again,
you
no
kinda got
trailer.
me on that one.
Well, that's the thing. Again, no trailers, no expectations. I was
Yeah.
like, my expectations were then fully
Again, I
blown away.
completely think that had I not watched the trailer for Friendship, that I would have watched the movie and come in here and raved about it.
If you went in blind on it. Yeah, sure, that happens.
I really think I would have.
That happens.
I ruined it.
100% that happens. But I really enjoy Life of Chuck. I think the marketing is a bummer. They blew the marketing somehow. Like when I was in the theater, I was, not to be ageist or anything, I'm approaching my mid-40s.
Sure.
I was by far, me and Marissa, by far the youngest people in the theater. A lot of people that were skewing older, and it was a full theater. I could tell when the trailers were playing, since it was Stephen King, almost all the trailers were for horror films, thrillers, red band trailers with like cursing and violence in them.
Wow.
And the people sitting next to me, I could tell for almost every movie, they're like, why did they? I don't want to see any of this. Like, they were not in the mood for this type of movie. But that's what they were being sold beforehand, which is very funny. Like, they got the trailer for Weapons, the new Zach Krager movie. That looks crazy. I can't imagine what all these people were thinking. I feel like it's being sold in a way that's maybe mismarketed, and maybe they're selling it to the wrong demographic, the people. It's these people. These are the people that showed up.
I'm sorry. That's I changed my text tone to boots, and that's my wife texting me to pick up something on the way
There you
home.
go, on your walk home.
Apologies.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I liked it. Life of Chuck is good.
Real
it on
quick,
the list.
I forgot to talk about this. I saw How to Train Your Dragon IMAX. And
You saw it on the IMAX?
Speaking of being too old.
Oh, that's where
That's
you.
a big screen, man.
I blew your.
Well,
it hurt your eyes.
Not even the eye. I was like, so loud. Like me
It
and
is
Chris
loud.
were
It's loud.
complaining about
Yeah.
how loud it was.
this AC/DC concert?
It's crazy loud in there, yeah.
Who do you think you are, Metallica?
Did you go to the Point
Doesn't
Orlando
need to be
one?
that loud.
Did you go to the Point Orlando
No,
one?
no.
The stairs. You have to climb so many stairs.
The sound is supposed, especially you
Yeah.
went to the Dragon movies, and when they got fire on the screen, you're going to feel it.
Yeah, I want my seat to rumble.
Yeah,
from
man.
just from the bass. Yeah.
I didn't really notice a difference. I was like, this is pretty close.
When do
to
we all
what they
get
were
headphones?
Want to do what?
When do we all get headphones? I mean, we're doing these silent discos everywhere. How far out are we?
Interesting.
You go to the movie, and then you get headphones, and then I can have mine IMAX rumble crazy. This guy can turn his down, little baby. Like, how do we?
It would have to be bring your own because people aren't gonna wear. You're gonna be like,
There's diarrhea on
someone else's
my
headphones. Someone's sweaty head. No one wants to wear these
Well,
after
yeah,
I wear them. I'll
bring
tell
your
you.
own headphones. It's fine.
Yeah, and then you have your own, and then the armrest. It's like an airplane. You have the little plug, and you plug in your thing. or
Mine
you Bluetooth
smell
into
like
it.
a pinch a penny.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's gross.
Let's stay on movies.
So let's talk Mountainhead. I think did we?
Yeah, that's the Max Steve Carell, right?
Yeah,
I have had this queued up and ready to rock on the Peloton and with Andrea for every single night over the weekend. We just couldn't do it.
Tech.
Because is it going to bum me out?
Interesting.
Like,
Yeah,
you know
about
what I
tech,
mean?
bunch of tech bros. Yeah, it's a little too close to reality
Are
right
they
now.
going to end it with like, okay, this is where it's headed?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, your life sucks now. Bye,
not
bye.
Sure not sure I want to do that and then go to bed.
Well,
Yeah.
the only reason I bring it up is because something must have been released that's like consumer grade AI, the video AI, because I've seen it a lot more, or maybe because like I'm watching them that it's in my algorithm or whatever, but I'm seeing a lot more of AI generated clips come up on my reels, and then like the fake news story, and then like fake disasters, and it's interesting because this is kind of what this whole movie's about, is these tech billionaires are all in some like ridiculous mansion on a mountain, and they're all together when basically the world has this huge like
there's some problems that are being created by social media.
Yes, and deep fake
Yeah.
AI videos, or like it's insinuating that countries are collapsing, or at least having riots in the street because like their leaders, or these fake AI videos are coming out and people are believing them. I'm looking at these AI videos coming out right now, and it's interesting because
There are people doing them for the LA riots now.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't necessarily want to queue up that show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But-
I'm just like,
So if you
I'll play
look,
Mario Kart.
like they are insanely realistic and will fool you at first, but as soon as you go to the comments, the top comments are usually like, this is AI fake.
Yeah.
And it's an easy way to know that they're fake.
They'll be flagged pretty quickly.
So-
Yeah, people can tell. Yeah.
It's essentially like, I could see this, obviously later on where it's harder to realize, but I feel like
In a few years, it's going to be a bummer to try to tell what's real and what's not. And also in a few years, we're going to look back at some of these now, because I'm getting the same ones too. Like a reporter is like, this is happening, and in the background, it's like the Kraken has come up out of the ocean or whatever.
I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
real.
yeah,
and
I'm
then
not
at the
real.
end, they always say, and I'm not real. They do that too. They're going to stop doing that for sure. And then it's going to be like, how can we tell what's real, what's not? And then these, within 5 years, it's going to look like, what was that? Will Smith eating spaghetti. Remember that video from a few years ago?
Yes.
Like, it's going to have that level of like uncanny valley. Like, this is clearly fake. But right now, I mean, it's borderline, right? It's right there.
Yeah.
It's getting there very
There's
fast.
there's some really good ones.
Yeah,
out there
very
now.
fast. It's getting there.
But because
creepy.
we're all getting used to it slowly, I feel like it's and like if you drop these videos back in the 90s, it would cause
Yes.
or because
It would fool
we're not
people.
because we're
Well,
not
this was my
we don't know this
childhood-
exists. And
This
like,
is my childhood
Yeah.
fantasy
Yeah.
of landing in a village of primitive people,
Yeah.
and I've got a cell phone or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
or electric guitar.
I'm a
Yeah.
god
Like, I'm going
now.
to play you guys Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, what is
Yeah,
this?
watch, I'm a god just by giving you chewing gum. You know?
So we're all teaching each other on social media that these are fake because some of the comments, like, is if someone thinks it's real in these AI videos, people are quick to jump in and say this is AI, this is fake. So it's kind of like
There's like a self-policing thing
yeah,
going on.
good thing
slowly
they have
we're
them.
Yeah, for
learning.
sure.
I was watching trailers this morning. Last time Chris was here, or I think EJ or somebody, you got a fake trailer. Remember you got tricked by one?
There's tons of those.
They got
There
me
are
this
tons
morning.
of fake
They
trailers.
got me this morning. I have to admit it. Got me this morning with the new Keanu Reeves movie where he plays like an angel or something.
Yes.
Fake trailer.
Yeah, the Aziz Ansari movie.
There is a real one, but I wasn't watching that.
They said you'll put a fake one.
I was watching an AI version.
So there's like these YouTube channels been operating for a few years. I forgot what their names were, but they got very popular making AI and first fake trailers without AI, just making fake trailers anyway using other existing content.
Splicing stuff,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. And now with AI, it just makes that stuff easier. And they were fully monetized because they were getting millions of views on YouTube, and they were fully monetized. And the studios, like Warner Brothers, instead of having them shut down for copyright violation, which they could easily do, they just went to YouTube and were like, any money that they make, filter back to us.
Yeah.
So Warner Brothers, stuff that was labeled Warner Brothers, that money was just going to the studio, and they were just letting this copyright theft happen until this big article, this big expose came out in the Hollywood Reporter about a month or two ago, and then YouTube shut those channels down like a week or two later.
Interesting.
But they were operating like fully with the consent of several studios, just because the money was then being filtered back to them, despite the fact that they're using people's likenesses, actors.
Were they splitting the revenue or taking all of it?
I think they were taking all of it, but since they're it's like multiple studios. So if this is a Warner Brothers movie, then Warner Brothers gets that money. But if it's like Fox or Disney or whatever, maybe they didn't have the same deal or whatever. So they were still making money off it. This guy, in the article, it said he had like a dozen people. Excuse me, he had a dozen workers, employees, just cranking out new videos daily on this channel to see whatever would
to
hit.
just
whatever
make
become
the
viral.
channel big, so they're just trying to go for
Yes.
size, so the money didn't matter.
There was getting enough money anyway. There's enough money was still filtering to them. He had a staff of a dozen people at least.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it
what
was,
I mean.
It was working,
like,
and he was like in India. I think this one particular guy was, but obviously they're worldwide people doing this kind of stuff. You know.
It was coming out of India?
That's
weird. I'm joking.
weird. I know, right? Exactly. Yeah.
That's weird.
Like a scams?
Yeah. Well, it's
Write that
also
down.
big.
That's a new one.
Also big in the Philippines.
scam.
Obviously, the old Nigerian Prince scam. Right, they're still doing it in Nigeria.
How do
Yeah.
you spell that?
Scam everywhere, man. Scam crazy.
I saw the AI Simpsons, the real life. Have you seen that one? Because I don't know how we were watching.
What,
something
Marge
YouTube.
giving Homer?
No,
I've seen those.
It was
Lisa and Homer.
It was a fake movie
The
trailer.
Family Guy crossover one.
Where like Homer's like Seth Rogen and they like Kristen Wiig as Marge.
Oh, so they cast people
Where
as
they
a
just
yeah.
do the pictures, and it's like a moving picture, and it's like a cast.
Well, it's even more than that. It's like AI. It's like the trailer's supposed to be a live action Simpsons movie.
Yeah.
and then
They
but
do
it's AI.
this- they
And my
do this-
sons realized it was AI quick.
Yeah, well, they do it with everything
You know,
now. They'll
it's
take,
pretty interesting. They're like, oh, it's AI.
They'll
Yeah.
take like Red Dead Redemption 2. That's the latest one I've seen. The Simpsons one is older. They'll take like Red Dead Redemption, and then they'll take every character in there and then make a photorealistic version of it, of a Panavision film from like the 1960s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then they'll be like, this is what it would look like.
This is what the cast will look like.
yeah,
Whatever.
yeah,
Yep.
that's very, very popular.
Yeah.
Have you seen the app or whatever? They could take photos and then make a 5-second movie out of the old photos. That's weird.
I've seen that effect. I've seen photos turn into a weird AI thing where it's like, let's just like AI predict what happens next, and it's always something weird or off-putting.
Yeah, I'm talking about like you take an old family photo, and this is what it's being like marketed as. You take an old family photo of it, like your grandpa that died a long time ago.
He's got like a sailor hat on.
And it'll like it'll kind of animate him for all of a sudden for
a few seconds.
for a few seconds where
Okay.
he's moving, and
I've
then
seen
he's
the
like,
ones that turn to the camera. It's like,
it comes alive,
Wow.
right? And then
I took a picture of my dad. He's like, he did the V.
It knew.
He did the V.
Did
like
the
he's,
V, yeah.
like he's
Yeah.
eating it.
and then for whatever reason, you kind of want, especially like if it's old, like if it's a picture, you have no video of some person in your ancestry, and then you can animate them
Make
to
them
like
dab.
turn them
Can you
alive.
make them dab?
So it's an odd
Make 'em
thing
floss.
to want. I'm like, whoa, this is like
My grandpa's doing the Running Man.
or take old photos of family members that have passed or whatever, and then animate them in a second too. Like it's odd to want it because it's fake and it doesn't mean anything, and it's just AI.
It's ultimately very meaningless.
But it also is like attractive to me. Like, wow, that's cool. That's a cool technology to have, and I bet a lot of people would pay a monthly fee to have this app that you could
Would
put in
you
photos.
pay $50 to have your dead grandpa rap to Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would.
That's what they'll do, right?
That would be cool.
You know, I've wasted $50 on so much
On so much
garbage.
crap.
Like that would actually be worth it. What other movies are we going to talk about, Chris?
Well, I did happen to also see the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, which I think it's only been out for 3 or 4 weeks now. It's still out there.
I heard it's amazing.
I really, really liked it. It's not I'm a big fan of all of them, though. ago, so take that for what it is. But I really liked it. For me, it's like maybe in the middle of the bunch in terms of like how much I like
the one before this was your favorite, right?
The two before Fallout,
Yeah.
the sixth one. Fallout is just one of the best movies ever made, let alone a Mission Impossible movie. Fallout's so good, but Final Reckoning's still fun. It's really enjoyable, and it's interesting that it's the 8th movie in the franchise, but it's making the most money of all of them. It had the biggest opening weekend at like $77 million, and it's doing very well worldwide, and we're having a great box office summer so far with the movies that have come out this year. We are ahead of pace of the summer box office total for 2019.
Oh, wow.
Which is a big deal because that's pre-COVID, right?
Yeah,
COVID messed
back,
everything
baby.
up. We are essentially, they're kind of saying maybe we're back because 2018 and 2019, those 2 consecutive summers were like the highest box office summers revenue-wise of all time, fueled in part by the 2 big Avengers movies that came out, Infinity War and Endgame, because those both made so much money.
Yeah.
But even so, consider that Avengers Endgame came out summer 2019, and without an Endgame type movie this year, our box office is already like on pace to beat that summer, which is great. So
Couldn't you make an argument that Thunderbolts filled that place because that movie overperformed? Did it not?
I think it overperformed in terms of people weren't sure if the Marvel sheen is gone, right?
They love it, Patrick.
Yeah, people really
love that
liked
movie.
it. The word of mouth was strong.
Yeah.
It did make some good money. It's not making Avengers level
No.
money, even though the whole titling thing that they did with the marketing.
Right. I think they fumbled that.
I think so too. Like with the whole asterisk thing, and I get the why, but anyway. But I think it tees up, between that being well received. Fantastic Four is getting good early buzz. That's coming out in July. Leading up to the Avengers movies next year, I think Marvel is going to be making a ton of money for the next couple of years. Now, whether those Avengers movies they're making, I have a sneaking feeling that they're going to be bad. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how much of a train wreck they might be. Because it does feel like Marvel's scared. They had to pivot with the whole Jonathan Majors thing. They were doing one big, huge storyline. Majors got in legal trouble. They dropped him entirely. They had a whole storyline revolved around his character. They had to drop that. And
what was his character again?
Kang the Conqueror, huge comic book character for sure. And now they're like, we can't do this for a while. And so they got so obviously desperate that they had to roll out the dump trucks of money for Robert Downey Jr. to come back to play Doomsday. So they're doing this whole weird Doomsday thing.
But
or
this is
Dr. Doom, I should say, excuse me.
And this is where he's playing Dr. Doom, but we
Yeah.
all know he's Iron Man. Is he Iron Man that becomes Dr. Doom, or is he wipe your brain clean? This is just a Dr. Doom played by
I think at the
Robert Downey
reveal,
Jr.
I think the comic book accurate reveal, I'm not a big, I don't know that much, but I think he was a Tony Stark who did take over the mantle of Doctor Doom in whatever multiverse Earth that he's on, and then it becomes a multiverse movie.
If this is a true story of how Iron Man did go
becomes a
crazy
bad
and
guy.
then become the bad guy,
Yeah.
then I can get
and not
behind
just
that.
just some sort of weird doppelganger
Yeah, I can
situation,
get
right?
behind that.
I think
That's
that's the only
cool.
thing that makes sense. But that it is also a multiverse type movie, which we've been getting a few years now. I think people are sick of them, but this is how they're going to fold in a lot of that Fox X-Men stuff that they purchased. So like Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen are in the new Avengers movie and stuff. They're working a lot of those older X-Men characters from 15 years ago into their current MCU, air quotes. So it's just a big way to try to incorporate all the stuff that they purchased from Fox in that big acquisition from 5-6 years ago. It's a big end game that's finally coming to fruition, which is interesting.
Speaking of movie revenue,
I thought you were going to sing for a second.
I
You're like,
Now stand for the national
and he's
anthem.
like, and I'm proud to be.
I at one time, right after the beginning of COVID, proclaimed that movies are dead and they'll never come back. I don't know if you remember this.
Put this in your radio's dead file.
And there was one misjudgment that I made, and now I realize what it is.
Robert
It's
Downey Jr.
Because every other logic, you're going down the logic road made sense. It's like, all right, well, I see people releasing movies direct to consumer and being profitable doing that.
Yep.
The TVs are getting bigger and cheaper. Like with COVID, and people are like, you're going to be more in the internet and live at home and less around people and all these things. I was like, how could it come back?
Sure.
And then now I'm realizing because we have so little discipline as humans that we need to put ourselves somewhere we can't look at our phones.
Yeah.
And it just like and not be distracted by our house.
Yeah.
And I didn't see the value in that when I was like, wait a minute, well, how can
it's almost time and a place.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it's like, and even me, I'm at home watching a movie or whatever. I'm just constantly like during slow parts.
I have to
pick
leave
up
it
my
upstairs.
phone.
I have to leave it upstairs. I can't be trusted to do
Or-
it.
Yeah.
At least you can do it. I can't.
It's annoying. Yeah.
I have to take it away.
I do the same thing.
Or I'm looking outside. I'm like, I'm gonna go. Like I'm just so much. And then
Or I'm gonna go get a drink. Let me jump up and
being forced to go somewhere where you have to not look at your
And
phone.
pay, skin in the game.
Yeah, you're skin in the game.
I think so. Absolutely, you're paying for it. Yeah.
The screen and the sound do draw you in a little more than
Unless
your own
you don't
home.
like
and
it
in a
loud.
big dark room also,
Yeah.
like it's a bummer if the lights are too high. Like you want it to be really dark in there, so you
Yeah.
can kind of like block out the people that you're in there with, sort of.
Yeah,
And then watching a comedy or a horror movie, they both have the same effect where everyone laughing or everyone getting scared at the same time is kind of like a contagious feeling. I'm really looking forward to seeing. I'm surprised by this. The Naked Gun is coming out beginning of August.
Yeah.
And I saw a teaser for that in front of I can't remember which movie. Oh, in front of Mission Impossible.
It's with Ian, or no, it's with
Liam Neeson.
Liam, not Ian. Liam Neeson.
And it's a sequel where he's playing Frank Drebin Jr. And they did a short teaser where they only gave away like maybe 3 or 4 jokes. And I went into it with my arms crossed. I'm like, no way this is going to be good. They don't make these kind of movies anymore.
Yeah.
This is going to be corny. Even the Naked Gun sequels aren't as good as the original, right? I got to tell you, by the end of that teaser, I and the rest of that theater were laughing hard. Like this movie is going there. It's super funny.
Are we gonna get the corny jokes? I used to love those movies.
The
As a
bad
young,
jokes.
Me and my dad.
Yeah.
Oh man.
This is right here.
Oh my
No,
god.
When I
These-
think Naked
these style
Gun, I
movies-
think Daniel
Oh
Dennis.
my
Yeah,
god.
absolutely.
Naked Gun movies are awesome.
I mean, maybe if you want to be sold on it, look up the teaser trailer. The final jokes in that trailer are super funny, and I was like laughing in spite of myself. I have to admit, like I think I have to go see this in a theater with people, and I really didn't think it was going to be good. But it's also an Akiva Schaffer movie.
Oh, from Lonely Island.
Yes.
Oh,
and
he's a genius.
He also made a really good Chippendale movie.
Yeah, that
which,
guy.
which should not have been good.
He can be trusted with any IP. That guy and the Lonely Island. I have secretly been saying that Akiva from that team. I think he's the best out of all of the guys. Like he secretly kind of hides in the cut.
I think he's the secret genius.
And he makes really good, like intelligent choices. And he doesn't insult his audience, like in that the Rescue Rangers.
Yeah. The Chippendale movie.
Oh, Chippendale. It's
so. Why is it so
have
good?
Have you seen that?
I
Oh
saw
my
the,
god, dude! That movie.
I was
is-
shocked.
Yeah, and that's all him. Like I think he was the one deciding to break those third walls
Yeah.
and make it all weird.
Yeah,
and
it was like live action animated mix. The jokes that they throw in there. Oh man, I was like surprised how much I like that movie.
That one's really good.
But it's also when it came straight to streaming during the COVID nonsense.
Yeah.
So it got lost in the shuffle. Movies like that, Bill and Ted, Face the Music. There's a lot of these movies that came out during those couple of years straight to streaming that then people just completely forget about. And I think that changes if it comes out in theaters and there's more marketing and more just general awareness of a movie. More people are going to check out Friendship when it comes out on Max just because they knew it was in theaters. Maybe they had never had an intention of seeing it in the theater, but when it comes out on Max, like, oh, here's that movie. I'll finally watch it.
I wonder if it would make sense that is like Andy Samberg, these guys, that they are the age that maybe they were. They found the copy of Naked Gun that was their dad's.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we would buy comedy VHSs or DVDs and have them in the house. Like that was like a thing. 'Cause
Sure.
why would he want to take on that old project?
Right.
But very cool of him to do that.
He clearly has some sort of connection to it, right?
Yeah.
Some desire to want to do it because it seems like such a bad idea on paper to want to make a new Naked Gun movie. No one, they don't make those movies
I was
anymore.
ready to argue with you because I haven't seen the trailer, but I just saw who they cast, and I'm like, oh no.
Right? I know exactly.
No.
The cast, like I don't know, but it's good.
Okay.
The teaser anyway. The teaser
like
is
that.
shockingly.
I'm excited.
I was surprised. So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
there's something to be said about the theatrical experience fully. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why it's still there, and it's box office. It might be back.
There
Maybe
you go. We're back,
Yeah.
baby.
Might be back.
Although it does, less theaters. Maybe they got
There is going to be a contraction of
Yeah, yeah.
theaters, like these big
Less malls.
The
less
malls.
We grew too much, and then we had to pull it back to
Yeah.
get like what we needed, not what we wanted.
Exactly, like a lot of these multiplexes with like 20 screens. We're gonna see way less of those. Maybe a 10 screen
RIP
theater.
Plaza Theater downtown. I saw. that a
Yeah,
couple
exactly.
years
The Plaza
ago.
Theater's been closed for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
so
place was
sad.
nice when it opened.
Man,
Yeah.
when that
just
thing
closed
opened, I was like, that's the future of movies.
Yeah, it was super nice.
They just closed a dollar theater too recently.
Which now we don't have a dollar theater in town anymore. That Premier Cinemas on Colonial. Remember that dollar theater?
How much would it cost to start a dollar theater?
That's why I want to know.
Tom and Dan and Chris Crespo's dollar theater.
Yes, let's do it. There's at least 2 theaters in town that we could renovate.
Well, the fact that they all shut down.
Yeah,
it
no
tells
seats.
there's
No
a-
seats. Bring your own seat.
There we genius.
Oh, yeah, there's that
Yeah,
camping chair.
And it's all automated.
Yeah.
It's all automated. You bring a camping chair, and the movies are just rotating.
And actually, and it's open Bluetooth. Just bring
yeah.
your phone, cast
And
whatever
you
you
can
want
pee-wee
straight
in
to
there
the
if you want
screen.
to. You want to
Yeah.
pee-wee in there? We don't-
BYOB.
Yeah, you can pee-wee all you
You
want.
can drink in there. You can pee-wee in there. Whatever you want.
We'll keep the Pee-wee. Auditorium 7 is the Pee-wee Theater.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pee-wee
What are
Memorial
you? Are you
Theater.
pee-weeing? Go to 7.
7. You're in 7.
Well,
Thank you.
get the cardboard box in the corner.
Tom's thinking box. Put Tom's thinking box on
Yeah,
there.
there's a face window, but you can't tell what you're doing in there.
Yeah, you're good.
You know, we can contract Butler to bring those out of retirement. I think he kept those.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he kept the Tom Van Thinken box. That's his technology.
Nice.
Cinema Crespodiso podcast. Get it where all podcasts can be found.
Thank you.
You can hear Tom on Who's the Baddie very soon.
Yes, and go back and listen to the Shawshank episode and the Coco episode. Those are fantastic
That was
episodes.
me. I was on there, and
Thanks,
I'm
guys.
gonna do friendship on there, I guess, at some point.
That's going to be fun.
A little tie-in between Shawshank and Demolition Man. Same warden. Same actor.
The warden from Shawshank is the chief of police in
Oh,
Demolition
oh,
Man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Really?
same deal though. Same,
my God.
same vibe.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
wild.
Yeah, Bob Gunton is
There
the
you
actor's
go.
name.
Anyway, Chris, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate
buddy.
it. You're the
See
best.
you soon.
And we will be right back.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
So on the line with us, I feel like this gentleman is our official tugboat correspondent.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Like at this point, like, is he on payroll now? We have to 1099 him.
Clark, the tugboatman, is here. How you doing, Clark?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Good to talk to you, man. So, how's it tugging?
Yeah. So Clark,
Oh,
You're supposed
always
to say,
fun, Tom.
supposed to say long, hairy, and hard to carry. That's what my dad used to say.
so
not for me. Medium hairy and hard to carry.
Oh,
All right,
all
okay.
right, so
Small,
Clark,
pointy, and in the bush.
so you Clark emailed me and said he had a interesting tugboat drug story.
A drug boat.
Yeah. So what do you got, Clark?
So, anyways, I was texting you or emailing you about it, but so one of our fellow tugmen, the guy got injured, and I know I told you guys that once a guy gets injured, you have to do drug tests and everything like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that boat got pulled in, and they all had to step off and pee in front of the Coast Guard and
You have
do
to
all
pee.
that fun
You have
stuff.
to pee in front of the Coast Guard.
Oh yeah, it's almost like probation. You have to pee in front of someone.
All right. So they could test it.
Yeah, because they have. If there's an injury through Coast Guard and the work that I do, they have to be sure everybody's clean. So I think that's kind of another reason why coke, meth, and all that is pretty prevalent because it gets out of your system pretty fast.
Yeah, that's why I use it. It's the quickest to get out of here.
Yeah.
know,
Marijuana
like-
stays in there in
Yeah.
your fat cells a month.
Exactly. Like yesterday for my Father's Day, it was cocaine crazy.
But anyway, so a guy on the boat. So I'll tell the general story. I'll try and make it a little streamlined. But the guy on the tugboat ended up falling down the stairs, broke an ankle, and then got a concussion.
Oh, that's what I would do to not take the test.
Oh no, he got his blood drawn, so he got a worse test.
Oh, that is way worse.
So anyways, sorry, traveling up and down the coast, I have allergies and it bothers me a ton.
Oh, you're fine.
But anyways, yeah, so he had to get emergency not medevac, but emergency scene, and so they had to go straight into port after what had happened. When that happened, he got tested, every deckhand got tested, and all the captains got tested.
All right.
And when they found out, the captain had meth in his system, so he had smoked it within the last 24 hours.
Well, maybe he was done with his load. Come on. It's fine. It's fine.
I will make
He's having a cold beer at the end of the day.
I'll make an argument that I would like my employees on meth, all right?
Defending a monster. I don't have the song queued up, but defending a monster.
Yeah. Like, because you don't want heroin because,
No.
like, again, you're
No,
falling
too
asleep.
sleepy.
Yeah.
Too sleepy.
And
I put weed in that category, too. Too sleepy.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
You weed, you forget where you left your keys.
We've done weed here. No, can't do it. Can't do it.
But meth, you're awake. Your brain's working
This
well.
guy's tugging harder than anybody.
Yeah. And, I'm just saying that.
On that point, you're pulling a rope harder than any other my other decade.
Yeah, you're
You
king
can pull that
tug.
rope so fast.
Yeah, you're the king of the tuggers,
Yeah.
I feel like, if you're on meth.
It should come
So
with at
anyways,
least a less a penalty. All right, go ahead.
Here's the kicker. So when they got into port and they all got tested and all failed, every single one of them failed, they found an ounce of meth on the boat.
Now, I'm not a meth man. Is an ounce a lot of meth?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's extremely a lot.
I think you do need a little bit.
Oh, think of how lucky they probably felt. They're like, we have meth for days.
Yeah. But again, I can understand the crew of a tugboat, like the captain, all your you're getting the job done.
Also, you know what I
mopping
like?
it.
You know what I like about this is a true captain will never do. He'll never make his crew do anything he wouldn't do.
Yeah. So
give me that meth. Let me smoke it with you.
So what happens in that scenario?
They take the boat, I'm guessing, right?
Oh, so here's what happens. That boat got seized. They took the boat. Now it's in Coast Guard's possession. They are inspecting the boat, reviewing the boat, going through all of captain's logs for the last 3 to 5 years, something like that.
Oh, God.
Not exactly sure what the number is, but they're going through all of that. And that boat is now not available. And the people that own that boat are now legally liable for a really bad situation because there was an injury involved.
Clark, what doesn't make sense to me, say I'm Captain Tom of the tugboat, the meth boat, all right?
So far, very believable.
I'll certify you as Captain Tom. You could be Captain Tom.
You look like a meth tugboat captain to me. And I look like I work on your boat.
I'm doing meth. My whole crew's doing meth. We all know.
Look at me.
Right?
I'm like, I'm doing meth.
And again, I like it because I'm driving real good, fast.
How fast would I be on meth, man? I'm telling you, as your first mate, I'm ripping around that deck.
I'm doing my logs. Everybody's mopping crazy.
I'm yelling at these greenhorns.
They're all cleaning and doing their job. Like, in fact, they're,
get those ropes, you pieces of ass.
Yeah. They're swabbing it twice. And then one of them falls down the stairs and hurts himself.
Well,
right?
I push him First of all, I push him over the board.
No
survivors. Yeah, I know what my captain wants.
I
know what my captain wants. I'm throwing him over.
No, they drug test everybody after the death accident for sure. But anyway, so.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so Billy, he falls and breaks his ankle, right? He's screaming, right?
But he doesn't scream that much because he's on meth and it doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah. Well,
He's got some good natural pain tolerance.
He's as strong as 10 men. The police could shoot him. He can still run after him. So listen up, Clark. So then
he's on PCP too. So he has amazing mega strength.
So first I'm like, all right, Billy. First take some more meth.
We're in
kill
the captain's
plane.
quarters having a private meeting.
So I tell everybody, I'm like, listen, if we take Billy, if we report this, they're gonna drug test all of us.
Yeah.
We're all on meth.
And does anybody want that look in my eyes? You gotta yell at them.
So this is what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna go back, all right, for a different reason, say mechanical issue, whatever. Get down there, start banging something with a wrench. Anyway, we go back into port. Billy, we're going to, without anybody noticing, we're going to get you on the dock. Yeah. And then you pretend to slip and fall on the dock.
Boom.
Here we go. And then lay down there all we wanted. Like, hey, Billy fell on the dock. And that way.
And then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, exactly. So why did they go and
that's
report
called the Disney, by the way, isn't it? I think
you die somewhere else.
That's called the nobody dies on Disney property.
Clark, you're a tugboat captain. If you're all on meth, you can't report the accident because you all know what's coming, right?
See, here's the thing. I may or may not have allegedly been through situations like this. And Tom, you're correct. It's like when you get injured at work on land, you never report you were at work. like that would just be stupid because then the company gets involved, and that's a problem.
If you're on meth,
But-
now if you're not on meth, then if you break your leg at home, you crawl into
the
work.
company. Yeah.
And then, so then they have to pay for it.
Yes.
You
And
see
then
what I'm
you
saying?
crawl home and do your mouth
Yeah, but
secretly.
if you're on drugs, then you have to. You're like, this is the price I pay for being on drugs.
Yeah.
I cannot.
It
use,
is the price you pay for being on drugs.
Yeah, I cannot use the company's insurance now because they
Yeah.
will drug test me.
I know you guys think drugs are all just good things. They're not.
Yeah,
They're not.
This is Clark.
So, anyways,
wha-
just to answer your question real quick before we go to another one, the problem was he had a concussion so bad he was vomiting and basically almost died.
How to clear up.
Yeah, that's not a problem,
No,
Captain
no.
Tom.
Gatorade. Drink a Gatorade.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you fell down the stairs. You understand the risk of this. I was like, hey, we're
You're going to go to sleep, drink this Gatorade, and lay down, and you're going to be fine.
Yeah. I mean,
But-
if we all want to do meth, then this is the price you have to pay.
It
You
is.
get a concussion. Now
Also,
you're
You're going to throw up.
also, while you're on meth, you're not really thinking that great.
you're thinking way better,
Yeah.
sir.
I
That's
don't know.
what
I don't
When's
know
the
what
last time
meth you're taking, but the meth I'm on, I'm a goddamn god.
I get prescribed meth by my doctor, and you think real good.
Nobody can edit like I can on meth, I'll tell you that.
Fastest fingers in the
Fastest
West.
fingers in the West. And we're the East Coast.
So basically,
East, sorry.
Clark
Yeah, good point.
confirmed what we were talking about last time is a lot of drugs on these boats.
Yeah.
It happens about 1 to 3 times a year. Somebody will get popped.
So,
This is the first time in about 7 or 8 years where I found the entire boat got popped.
well, there's my question to you as a tugman.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in charge of that boat, and that boat's already in an area where it's supposed to be working. So do they have to call another boat in to take up the slack for that boat, and then those people are on the hook for buying the new boat?
Yes. So I know I texted Tom about this, but there was a problem with that boat, and that's why I didn't make the call the other week because I had to go push a container ship because they could not.
So the druggies couldn't do the job, so they had to pick. So they're effectively having to pay double for the tug now because,
Oh, so much money.
or more, maybe even more than double.
So
Yeah.
much money.
Oh my God.
They're paying probably $75,000 in fines and maybe $150 just to get the boat out of the situation.
Yeah, so there'll be $500,000 before they're even in the clear. Oh
Correct.
my God.
Here's the problem, though. This will continue to happen because people who have super hard jobs that may be considered like, not that
Low tier. Low tier.
There's no comfort and just a lot of
hard.
hard work.
Yeah, it's hard
and,
work.
and it's you don't want to be sober for that. You don't think true.
No.
It's going back to getting your head right before you have to
Yeah.
do some hard ass manual labor. It's your head's not right if it's sober.
Oh, no, it's terrible. And then the funny part about that is, so that company, I won't name any names because I shouldn't, that company has 5 boats. And all 5 boats now have to get investigated.
Oh, God, yeah, of
they
course.
ruined it for everybody.
Oh, yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is-
going to be bad because
yeah.
there's going to be some of the deckhands that are going to pop.
Right, because of course they all know there's a couple of them. Yeah. Oh man, this is bad.
It's terrible.
All right. Well, Clark, thanks for giving us the tugboat update of the
Yeah.
day.
We're the
And,
only podcast that brings you Clark's tugboat update. What you tugging with Clark here on Tom and Dan?
Oh, can I tell you about what I just tugged? I texted that to you
Yeah, what you tugging?
the other day. Tom,
We'd be
so-
hard missed if we called the segment "What You Tugging" and we didn't even find out what you tugging. Okay, what you tugging?
So, Tom, I texted you the other day. There's some rich human. I don't know who he is, but I ended up transporting 4 cars, 2 Ferraris and a Lamborghini and a McLaren
A
to
Lamborghini.
Miami.
You got a? Hey, is this one of them?
Sapphire blue?
Sapphire blue Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
And so you, hold on, you pulled it on some sort of floating, or
They're called boats.
Yeah, it was
They're
on a
boats.
barge. So I have they just put them in train cars, and the train cars go in my barge.
okay.
So I can transport it way faster than, say, a train or a container ship can. So there's a lot of rich people that'll buy us out and buy our tugging so that I can transport it in 2 or 3 days instead of 7 to 15 days.
So you're pulling a barge with supercars in them.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's a cool job. Yeah, I mean,
It was wild. We got to see the cars when we got to the dock or got to port because they're locked. We can't get in them. But once we got to dock and everything like that, they got to show us the cars. We're looking at probably 3 million, 3.5 of cars.
Is there any danger, Clark, of like someone trying to steal?
yeah, Jack the.
Yeah, but I guess they'd have to.
Here, no. God, no. Not on our coast. But if you go down to like Djibouti, Africa or something, yeah, it's going to be terrible.
Well, I mean, still.
That sounded oddly racist, Clark.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
gonna say it.
But you're pulling
No, it's just- that's where it is.
a barge with $3 million worth of cars. It seems like
Tom's Italian job wheels are going.
Yeah.
He's gonna steal those cars.
like you know,
You're
like,
not wrong. I mean, people do look for opportunity, right? And if you got $3 million worth of supercars, I mean, to jump on the tug and steal it would be pretty cool.
or even yourself, Clark. Like you don't have any video cameras on the tugboat or anything like, or are there? Is it
Oh,
filming?
no.
everything?
I have, there's 2. I only have 2. I just have one watching my rear and then one watching my captain's quarters. So basically, if something happens, we can review what happened on the rear and what happened in the captain's quarters.
I'm just saying, like, if Clark wanted to say, like, hey, someone, some pirates jumped aboard, tied me
Yeah,
up,
I'm
and
the
stole my
captain now,
barge,
yeah.
but you were in on it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then just staged it.
Because you were on meth.
And then get another tugboat to pull this, pull it to the Bahamas. I don't know.
Well, no, you would just need to pull it somewhere and then get the car. You need to get the cars the hell out of there on roads.
Yeah.
You know, not in the boat. I feel like the tugboat is the slowest way to get the cars out of there. You know? I like your idea, Tom, but I feel like we're a little slower with the tug out of there.
I'm moving fast. I did send Tom that picture, and he said he could wakeboard behind the boat. I'd love to see him jump up.
He can do
30 foot
anything.
wide.
Sir. He can do anything you
Well,
say.
I was like, has anybody tried to wakeboard behind a tugboat? I know they did on the
Yeah,
cruise ship.
I used to do it every night in college. I was wakeboarding behind every tugboat. Trust me.
All right, Clark. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure talking to you guys. Hey, can I make a shout out real quick? Is
Please,
that okay?
please.
Just some guys in the chat. SJ, always a pleasure talking with you. I'm getting to go home to see Steven in about 4 hours. And Robert, hey, hope your leg is doing well. I know you told me it's better, so good to talk to you.
That's there. He's made friends.
Keep your personal conversations.
Stop
to yourself.
talking to your friends.
You just text
My
them.
God.
It's, don't use our show
Yeah,
time.
what do you do? What do you think this is? 102 Jams?
Oh,
Quiet Storm. You give a shout out to your girlfriend.
no, I have a girlfriend.
All right,
Good
be
boy.
safe
That's
out
a nice
there.
stand.
Be safe. Keep tugging.
Absolutely, man. It's a pleasure talking with you guys.
All right, buddy.
Always fun.
Be good.
Have a good one.
All right. Love that guy. I was trying to hang up on him.
Yeah. You can hang up on him fast.
No.
He's right, he
I
doesn't
like
care.
him. I don't want to step
He's
on him.
a real man.
Trying to get better about not stepping on the phone calls we take. I hate it when I do them. I want to get the pleasantries out. And
So I was telling you about this documentary.
I thought you were gonna. So we're gonna steal these cars.
No,
right?
no.
Like, I'm in. Like,
I don't know how. Like even with cars, like I imagine they all have.
You switch the containers.
But like the brand new supercars have like brand new technology, so they're all like
Not all of them, because some of them are all about the engine, and
That's
some
true.
of them are all about like some of them don't even have air conditioning.
no,
these
I know.
supercars.
But I would imagine that the tech
GPS, yeah.
is super
Like an
light-
Apple tag. You know, it's the easiest
Yeah.
thing you can do when you buy the supercars, hide an Apple tag on it.
Well, not only that, like anti-theft stuff, and like like there's some sort of tech hidden inside the motor that'll be hard to get to. That
I don't know.
like all
It could be
these.
classic, it could be older cars, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I just like a brand new McLaren would be hard to steal and then figure out what the hell to do with it, like
We
resell.
can find out. We got a new McLaren dealership here
Yeah.
in town, right up the road.
Or, like
That's a great question. Now, my car, impossible. My car is
Yeah.
so connected to the internet, there's
No,
no
no.
way you can't find. My wife, I can't lie ever about anywhere I go. Like, she can
Yeah, yeah.
pull up the Tesla app, hit the button, and see me in real time driving down the road. Like, she knows there's no such thing as lying anymore. Not that I would, but I'm just saying that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. That's a great question.
it seems like
It would
that's a
depend on
thing
if
of the
they have
past,
internet
yeah.
conductivity. And I would imagine that if it's a really fast Like your Porsches, yeah, and I think like anything that's super expensive, they're gonna have some sort of tech in it.
Well, this is what I'm saying, like anti-theft tech,
Yeah.
where that makes it where the thieves, like, they're like, I can't even steal this because they'll know exactly where it is. As soon as it's a report of stolen, like it comes up and like you'd have to dismantle the car to even get to it. You know, like
right, or jam it somehow.
Yeah, and so much of a pain in the ass and so much risk that it's not worth stealing a brand new McLaren or Lambo or whatever. Anyway, speaking of that, and like in crime documentaries, me and Crystal watched this crime documentary on Karen Reed, and you said you never heard of her.
No,
I hadn't either. And Crystal, I guess, had, and she's like, "Oh, I want to watch this Karen Reed documentary." So we watched it, and it's about a lady that was boyfriends with this Boston police officer. And he ended up dying on the front lawn of this another police officer's house, and she's on trial for second-degree murder and also vehicular manslaughter. Like the story is that the police are claiming that she hit him with the car after a drunken argument in front of this other cop's house that they were going to for an after party. And then it blew up into this huge thing.
And the guy died, I'm guessing.
Yeah, the police officer died,
And
John O'Keefe.
And what did he die of?
He died of like head injuries and hypothermia.
But so the hypothermia is what sort of connects it and makes me think of that story just a couple of months ago where the guy died. The three friends froze in the backyard.
Yeah,
hypothermia is a weird one for me. Like when I gravitate to those stories because it just sounds like what happened. So I guess short of the long
and he had injuries on his arm and in his skull fracture.
So they're guessing short of the long is that they're saying or claiming that she hit him with her car.
Yeah.
And then he froze to death because of his injuries.
Yes.
Okay.
And then so now her story is different. Obviously, this is why. And then it gets into bizarre things that happen and like police corruption. They're claiming, the defense is claiming that
they're just humans.
This is corruption involved, and the Boston Police Department is all like very interwoven, connected, and like that.
It's an older city.
Yeah. Old school police.
I mean, if you do a movie based on police or firefighter corruption, it's typically based in Boston.
Right? Or New York, or like that kind of...
Like a big city, like Chicago.
So it's interesting because we watched the documentary. I won't say, well, I guess it's out there. It ends... And then we were like, oh, wonder what happened. And then we searched, and then the trial's now in deliberation for the second one is happening now.
Oh, so
it's like currently in deliberation. The jury's been in deliberating for 3 days now.
Oh, so it is like hot. It's going on right now.
It could come out today, like
God.
What happens to this lady, and so. Anyway, the entire thing though is super weird, and I could see why this erupted in the internet conspiracy theories, and she's got all these people outside the courtroom. With like
so you got a team of wackos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're out there.
Britney team. You got a Britney team.
Yeah. They're out there, and so
you got a Britney Spears wacko team out there yelling. They're waving the terrible towel around.
Here's what I want to talk about: the wackos.
I love the wackos.
Yeah. So like
it's the only part I like because most of these stories are pretty sad.
Yeah.
Even Britney's story very sad.
Well,
but the wackos are great.
A person died, so I was like, but the people that go to the court. House and stand outside and do crazy things.
Oh, we had those. We had those here, and when Casey Anthony was on trial, we were the center of the world.
Who are those people? There's the Tuttles, right? Tuttles, they're from the 90s radio.
Tuttles away.
Yeah, because he got sent down there by the radio host. He wouldn't be there.
Tuttle is not purely going down there because he loves trials and excitement and look at me. He is a little bit of look at me, but it's only because he's like, look at me, I want to be a radio star, and this is what radio people do.
And he's going out there to report back for a radio show.
Sure.
So that's like more of a reporter.
Yeah, he's doing like Bubba the Love Sponge, Ron and Fez, Us, the Monster. He's doing a thing. He's doing a bit.
But the people that go out there and every day of the trial, they're out there and they adopted like a color pink because I guess, and it's weird in the documentary, she's like, I just mentioned I liked pink one day, and the whole wacko crowd. Like
Oh,
they all wear pink.
Oh, she's always got like an army, like.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The free Karen
Yeah.
Reed thing. And then so they also, like, the police officers collected evidence in a Solo cup. And the defense was like, how unprofessional this is or whatever. So then they started, like, Solo cups have been their
People
theme.
are dressing up like Solo cups.
Like all of it, like all the women have Solo cup earrings. And then there's like
that'll show
all,
'em.
like all Solo cup themes. And like
How unprofessional. Make earrings to show a statement.
they're grabbing
How
hold of
brave
all
of you.
these things.
Yeah.
And they're out there listening to the trial live
This
on the
is
radio.
the furthest of anything you would ever do in your life,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like, this is so far from zero. If this is zero, it's, what, a million light years away from you?
Dude, if
How
someone,
far away from you is this?
if someone killed you, I'd be like, oh, they'll give me the update. I'm not even
I like the color blue, Tom, just so you know. I like the color blue.
Because I was like, what good does it do? I mean, me going to
Oh,
the
no,
thing.
I
like,
want you to have Solo cup earrings and a blue hat on.
So
I want you
like-
to grow your beard back for me. That's
and-
what I want. Grow
and
beard.
It's so weird to me, the motivation of it. And
How many people are we talking about? Because I think that's important to the story. More than 100?
at the ending, the culmination of the verdict day, yeah. But for the most part, I think day to day, there's like between a dozen and
That's a lot.
and 30.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, but like
That's more than I thought.
and they show like the most when it's like when they're in deliberation, it's the last day of trial. Like that's when everybody comes because the news reports and whatever. But I think day to day, like they're there every day of the trial, and the trial's 3 months. So it's a long time.
And
you know?
it's a
like,
mess. Again,
like-
no spoilers. When I was reading a little bit, because you told me this morning a little bit
Yeah,
about it.
I don't
and
wanna-
this- I don't want to spoil any of it because
It's a bizarre story.
It's a mess.
Although it does, and my theory of it, because I was asking Crystal, and Crystal's like, man, it's so weird that the cops did these things. I'm like, why did they do that? But to me, my theory is that she did do it, but I think the cops probably, since they know like the system and they know how everything goes, they probably did something, manipulated some things so that it would be a easier case to solve because they were trying to think this is their friend or whatever.
Yeah.
So then but because of that, similar to like why people think the moon landing's fake, is like the moon landing happened, but then they faked a bunch of like moon landing stuff so the media can spread it because
So they'd have like some things to pass around.
so because they wanted more publicity, so they did have fake aspects
they're
of
trying
the
to-
moon
they're
landing.
trying to prepare.
And that, since they did that, it caused a bunch of conspiracies.
Yeah.
Like, hey, these photos are staged, and then like they can never.
And you can't say that they're not staged because they are. But
Yeah,
that doesn't
yeah.
mean the moon landing is fake.
Yeah.
It just means these photos are staged.
So I think that's kind of what happened here, where the cops like the interference in the case to try to like get more evidence on her, so it's a more clear-cut case, and because of that, it caused everybody to think, well, wait a minute, maybe she didn't do it. Why did the cops? It's like,
do they go into the personalities of the deceased cop and her, like, and how? Because it seems like maybe the department of other police officers are split on whether they liked her or liked him.
I don't know. I mean, it's her story presented
Is it a small?
by.
It's not, and it's based out of Boston, not a small area around there.
It may be, yeah. It's
I'm
some
wondering.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna check this out. This looks really good.
Anyway, but the interesting, it was just that we landed on it, and also weird that they were able to come out with this documentary while the the second one was still going.
But it looks like this one was wrapping up, and then like maybe they planned it that way because they knew it was going back to deliberation. So they're like, well, it'd be perfect if we release this at the time when the trial is finishing up. I mean, that's a win-win for everybody.
For the promotion of
Yeah.
it, but I didn't know you're allowed to come out with a documentary while you're on trial still. I didn't know.
A lot of things confuse me. Like, I'll give you one. Like when a
Like,
congressman gets accused of something, and then they say you must appear in court, and then he's just like, I'm not showing up. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, I can't do that. So which is it? Do you have to show up, or can you just say like, I'm not showing up? Which is it?
I guess it depends on how they invite you. Like if
No, I think if it's court, it's court. It's all court is the same. If you're in the court,
if you're
you're
like
going
subpoenaed,
to court.
I think if you're subpoenaed, you have to go. Well, I don't even know what
Hey,
that means.
I have been under a deposition and I was subpoenaed.
Yeah, I think
if I had said I am not showing up, I would have gone to jail.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think if you're subpoenaed, they can't say.
I
But
don't
if
like that.
If they invite them,
I don't like I don't like that. If you've been subpoenaed or asked to, no, you're supposed to do it. You don't get to say no. I didn't vote for that. You're not better than me because you're dumb and old and wear a suit. I hate that. It makes me so angry. I want to see that documentary though. What other people like this? You know, because we saw it with Britney. You're talking about this, like we saw it with Casey Anthony.
Yeah.
You saw it with OJ.
Any high-profile case brings these people out, and it's I don't know. I'm like, who I want to talk to someone
Super
that
fans
that went or that like was drawn to a court proceeding that had nothing to do or friends or family of the person, and then just felt compelled to go out there and protest, support.
EJ brings up an interesting point in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/TomandDanLive. EJ says that a lot of these people would have to be unemployed to even do that. It is weird that they can give this much time and resources to something that they're not even attached to. Really, that's what makes it weird.
Yeah, and then that becomes part. It's a weird thing where like they're compelled to go out there, and then they met some other people that were also compelled. And now through the internet,
they made friends
on the internet, like it connects people. Then they all go out there, and then it becomes their thing,
like their purpose.
And then they're on the news, and then they almost become like some pseudo celebrity attached to the case because all the news stations record them because they want to show the supporters, right?
And then you're dressing up in a costume, you're wearing your pink,
you got your solo cup, and then you're holding, and then you become that person that's associated with this, like kind of like a Dolphin Danny or like a Falcons,
Freddie Falcon,
whatever that fan club or whatever. And then you get known for that, and then that's what you're like
those Browns fans that wear the bulldog mask. By the way, Browns fans, I hate almost everything that you guys do, but the fat guys in the dog mask is awesome. I'm forever fat guys in dog mask. It makes me laugh.
And is your mascot a dog?
Yeah.
Are they?
No, it's an elf. It's a little. It's a little elf.
But the dog mask.
I like it. I'm just saying I like it.
They should just.
I'm flipping on Shadir now. Now I want him to do good.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I like keeping it spicy.
I want to see him play. Yeah, because that would be more entertaining.
Would it be funnier? Because I do think he's not good. But wouldn't it be better for the story if he came out lightning and just started killing it, and people were like, oh, and then he's dunking on people,
100%.
and then Dion's crotch chopping, and then Shadir's got a dog mask on with the fat guys, and they're cheering.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, for the entertainment, 100%. Now, statistically, it's probably not going to happen. And I saw something on like TikTok where they show him patting the ball before he throws, and they're like, clowning him because that's like kind of a rookie.
Yeah, that's like what I do at a birthday party.
Well, and they showed a bunch of examples of it, but it's like kind of like a twitch to some quarterback, and they can coach that out of you. Like for Josh Allen. There was a lot of people when he first came in the NFL said like he's not accurate. You can't teach accuracy, but it's like look, they did it.
Yeah, he did okay.
Although I think a lot of people now, just like even with Anthony Richards and stuff like where they thought, I could just do the Josh Allen, and they're like maybe that could. He's the only one that could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and do you know how hard he worked? Nobody. Well, like what was he doing behind the scenes? How much time was he putting in? He could have done that like sun up to sundown for like literally dedicated himself to it, and he could say it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Yeah. Or it could just been an easier, thing to fix. That his
Have you seen the sports science? And I thought of you, and I meant to send it to you this weekend. I haven't been able to watch it yet, but I saw it pop up on YouTube. We talked about the sports science gentleman that passed away last week, so I don't know how much more sports science type stuff we're going to get because it seemed like it was sort of his baby. But they break down Brady. They break down his throwing. They have like him, and they show you the mechanics of the release. They show you his elbow. They show you the length of everything, and they walk through his throwing to show you why it's good.
Yeah,
or why it works. Or they show you what's different about it that other people don't have, and they're just like, well, that's just cool, him. Yeah. That's just him, and he just whips it this way. Or his like when he holds it, it comes out like this much to the degrees to the right or whatever.
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
have a whole breakdown of it. It's pretty cool.
The only thing I can understand, because
I'd like to see that for every quarterback.
it's
That's awesome.
What's weird to me,
It's like video game characters when you choose them. You know, you got the strong guy, you got the little guy, you got the elf. You got.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
seeing all the differences in them and how it still works. That's cool.
when it's what I find interesting is when they say like, oh, this guy's got a cannon for an arm, or like this guy's arm stronger than this guy, and it's not relative to their body weight and
Or their
strength,
size, no.
or size,
You'll
which
see
is
a guy's
weird.
arm, he got a little noodle arm.
Kyler Murray is
Yeah.
small. And they say he has a stronger arm than a bigger quarterback,
Yeah.
like Andy Dalton or something. It's like, he's a foot taller than him or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Penix has that.
and
Penix is like one of those guys where they're, and he's not that big, but they're like, oh yeah, like look at his release.
It-
Look at how strong he is.
And then the only release, like, and you watch the way Brady throws the football and the way any other quarterback throws, and I'm like, looks the same to me, right? Like, you're like,
Yes.
what? And they're like, no.
Only the show shows you the differences. You're right. You're right.
And then if there is a big difference, you would think you just mimic that, right? And then it's like, nah, but it's not that easy. And it's like, okay, well, just
it
do
makes-
what Brady's doing.
It makes me think, do you think that like someone like Gruden, Jay Gruden, that was a buddy of yours that
Yeah.
we've talked to, he though has enough reps and being an ex-quarterback and being, and playing at a very high level and winning awards, don't you think that he can look at different quarterbacks and he sees the thing we don't see?
Yeah.
Like he can look at Brady and go like, well, I know why his mechanic work. I know why that works.
Yeah, and the only one example that I remember realizing and seeing firsthand is when Tim Tebow, where they were criticizing the way Tim Tebow threw.
Or like from the side or
No,
like,
that he would basically bring the football back too far, which that split second of time
Yeah.
would give the DBs enough time to like break on the ball.
but that's
whatever.
how we powered up the wobbler.
You know?
How do you power up a wobbler when you know?
And so I understood that. I was like, oh, yeah, that split second of time the ball comes behind your head gives, like, the super athletes
Just
that are
enough.
just enough time to, have an advantage over a quarterback who doesn't bring the ball back. And I understood that. So then I'm like, okay, but every other quarterback, they look exactly this. Their throwing motion is pretty damn.
yeah.
You're looking at Mahomes, and then you're like, here's Daniel Jones throwing, and you're like, looks the same.
Yeah, I can't.
You're just like, why is one so much better? And there's like, no, you can't see it. I'm like, why?
You want to make it make yourself crazy?
How could it be so
because
much-
there's more of them. And this is the only thing I would say is
Yeah.
go watch famous soccer players take penalty kicks and all the different variations.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
styles.
it's great, yeah.
Because there's more of them than quarterback. I mean, quarterback is such a rare,
Yeah.
and that's why I wish they'd line them all up and do that.
Yeah.
Like I'd love to see all their different mechanics like laid on top of each other or something. That'd be cool.
It is bizarre when you see a quarterback throw a football in real life.
Sounds weird.
Yeah.
You ever heard one go by you?
Not
It's
to
weird.
not to that pro point, but even like I've
Well, just like Predators quarterbacks throwing.
like Jay Gruden throwing a football
Yeah,
to you. It's
it
weird. It's
sounds
like,
different.
How are you throwing it that straight and also that accurately? And then it's not even that hard. You're just like you can catch it. You're like,
and
God.
in the right spot.
Yeah. And then
And with some loft. Like, how did you,
remember
it's
that?
wild.
Remember that video that was making the rounds of Matthew Stafford? He was playing golf over the summer. This just happened.
Yeah.
And DeChambeau was like going out for a pass, and then he rockets it to. And when you see him, like it's just some cell phone camera, and you're like, whoa!
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot believe this guy threw a football that fast. And like 30 yards or whatever. So it's like, God, it's
impressive.
a weird thing. It's a skill to have.
It becomes like a party trick, it seems like.
Yeah,
to me.
yeah,
I look
yeah,
at it, I'm
yeah.
like, that's a party trick.
Yeah. It's so far away from what normal fat dads could do. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
But I am impressed when you see an like collegiate fat dad that did play quarterback and he knows what he's doing. I like him when he's gotten himself real fat, but he can still throw on a beach and he'll have his shirt off and he'll rocket one and he'll blow a kid into the sand. I love it.
There are influencers. There's a fat guy that is like football god or something. It's something like that. Or like, and it's just this fat guy that used to play quarterback and he could throw football far as hell and hard.
That's awesome.
And that's his whole channel is him like with the shirt off throwing a football
like that.
super hard or far or whatever. And it's like
That's the content I came for.
that's it. That's his whole content. Again, I want to interview that guy and be like, well, what? I mean, how much of the time do you
I
spend
do
on
like
this?
bigger people doing astonishing things. Have you seen the larger, I call them well-fed is my nicer way of saying it now. Have you seen the well-fed rollerblader?
Yeah, oh yeah,
That guy's,
yeah.
he's one of the first one to do it. You see him come out of the pool, he does the backflip, he lands it,
Yeah,
and he's like,
yeah.
whether you like it or not, this is what peak male perfection looks like.
Yeah. Like he used to rollerblade in his 20s, and then he gained 50 pounds in his
He looks a little more than 50.
in his late 30s, and then now he's like, well, I can still do a backflip.
He still rips. He rips.
He still can do it. The same thing
Yeah.
with the parkour guys, like, and you'll see it now blatant, where like you'll see a guy.
Oh, the bigger parkour guy. He might be my favorite, even over the rollerblade guy.
Like he'll have male pattern baldness, and then he'll realize like I'm just gonna let my hair grow full bozo.
It's funnier.
And it's gray.
I'm doing an element of that now.
So I could do gray bozo, and I'm a little bit overweight, but I could still do a gainer off of
I
a
could jump off a parking garage.
yeah.
You've seen the same video.
And then it's like, because it's not you were doing this 10 years ago. It's like you still got. I mean, it's not you're not as sharp as you used to be, but you can still
you can land it. You'll be a little sore. You'll be fine.
You do the easier moves, but that's a whole thing. But then it's like, how much time are you dedicated to making these videos? Is this your full-time job? Do you do them here and there? Like,
I don't think
do
so.
Do you do other stuff? Because you can't be monetizing that much.
I think that's an illusion that we all as like consumers have created, because so many people thirst and want to be influencers. So many people want to make their money doing videos, or even doing podcasts or radio. But like, so many people want to be entertainers. But that's it can't be.
Oh no, 100%. It's
be.
few and far between, and to be able to make the money to make a living doing it.
So
is
is
the
it
hard
sad?
part.
Is it sad to go back to your desk job at, you work in the back of Amscot taking phone calls, and you've got the long gray bozo, but you're known as the parkour guy, but you still have a day job? Is that sad? A little sad. You work at you're at Advanced Auto Parts, and you're back there counting the spark plugs. A guy's coming in there for a spark
It's
plug.
an interesting story to tell your friends.
He recognizes you as the parkour guy.
It's like the guy, you ever seen the Be a Man guy that's like, he's like in his 50s, and his whole thing is like, stop the microwave when there's 1 second left, be a man. And it's just a bunch of like,
Oh, I do that. I don't like to beep.
no, but it's a bunch of things that are like cliches with dads or men or whatever, and that's all he's known for. He just he does a one sentence, and then it's be a man as his thing, and it's just him like either filming himself or
Cornbread Cowboy does stuff like that too.
And he's done hundreds and
thousands even.
Some some hit, some don't, or whatever. And then I'm just like, is it what money does he make? How often does he do? Because you run out of things like in their short little clips.
You
so
don't
it's
run
like,
out of things.
It's
though.
like
you have to keep making.
But
them.
it's not 6 hours a day. You see what I'm saying? Like you can only
no.
do so many. So it's like you do this every once
You
in a
do
while.
a hard Tuesday.
But then you have a normal job. So, but then he's got millions of followers, and he's gotten tens of millions of views in these videos. But
it's really just a window,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like we're
yeah.
just looking in the window.
And it's
Because
not
how attached are we really to it?
nothing. No, there's nothing.
I know the guy's name. One of the guys I follow that does similar to what you're doing is named the Cornbread Cowboy.
Okay,
and he's like a Southern guy, and he's got like a beer belly. He's like cowboy style, and he wears a lot of the trucker hats that I like, and a lot of the like vintage like Southern fashion that I like. And he'll do like these skits where he's like walking up to your house to blank your girlfriend after we just left the Waffle House. It's always like sort of Southerny.
Yeah.
At the roller rink with Marta, my best girl. Hope she doesn't find out
the little skits.
that Jesse's in the back. And he writes them out. And I don't think, because I heard him talked about it on another podcast. I just happened to be listening to like a self-help podcast about anxiety. And the guest that day, they're like, I'm going to bring in a friend of mine. Here's the Cornbread Cowboy. And they bring him in, and he's talking. And it sounds like he gets a lot of great opportunities. Like, yes, he will get to stand on stage but is he wealthy? Is he making money? No, I don't think he is. He still has a day job. Is he able to benefit from it? Yeah, but it's not what we think. He's not getting loaded. It's not his. Not his day job. It can't be.
Yeah, because there's not.
It's not built on anything. There's no base. There's no ground floor of it.
And he's not doing commercials and that's for the most part, that's the only real way you can make money in media is commercials. Why the OnlyFans, the influencers that have
Yeah.
OnlyFans accounts, like they
Now,
make,
he may have
they
that-
make tons of money because of subscriptions.
I don't know if he has that. I wouldn't imagine he does just based on his content. But it seems like, because people go like, well, it's a nothing. Well, I'd say like it's a little more than a nothing, but I think it's just access. Maybe he gets, like he got access to Casey Musgraves. He'll get access to famous people, but I don't know if he's rich himself. I don't know if...
Although, okay, if someone saw our social media, we don't even have that many followers.
No, we don't.
And if someone asked a stranger, do you think these guys make a living doing this? I'd be like, hell no.
Yes.
Because
Because I think we still have a foot in legacy media, though.
Yeah, no, we're essentially doing what radio stations do,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is
Shh, don't tell anybody.
But it's just selling, selling advertising. We do commercials, and we don't even put those that much in our social media. Although we do specifically social media, like for Jeff's or Science Center or whatever.
If you see it, you'll know what we're doing.
Yeah. But it's but then I wonder, these guys don't have any long form other show that they're doing commercials or anything like this is what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if you don't see the commercials in that, then where's the money coming from?
The grind. It's a grind. I don't think they do. I think it's access. I think it's tickets. I think it's
sometimes merch, live shows, like even those Facebook comedians, the Ginger Billies, are like they just monetize by they'll use their social media footprint to promote their live show and like come see us at the Funny Bone, and then they'll get ticket sales for that. So they although that is way harder.
I think that's dying now too. I've seen less of your influencer comics rolling through. That was the thing, it felt like, that started before the pandemic, and then we kind of went through the pandemic and it was heavy. And I feel like coming out of it now, I feel like there's some of that going on, but they're booking like unconventional venues, like not even like your Funny Bones. They're booking like the Abbey, or they're booking like
just a regular venue in town.
And just doing like a meetup or something like that.
Yeah,
and it
because
seems
the
like
shows,
it is less.
I think just like all the professional stand-ups told us, like their show can't be polished or good because this is not what they do.
It can't
So
sustain
how
that
can
many tickets.
Yeah, how can you do an hour? And we've heard a lot of horror stories about how bad the shows have been. So all those people are not coming back unless they have a good show.
And I don't think they've come back. A lot of them have not come back.
Yeah.
Glowzilla hasn't come back. A lot of the ones that we even had in here. There was one guy that wrote on the wall. I forget his name, but he was like a young college
I forgot about
kid.
Glowzilla.
Yeah, Glowzilla.
Glowzell.
Glowzell.
Yeah.
I was doing Glorilla. That's the rapper.
Yeah. Glowzell.
Oh, I mixed up my black ladies.
And
that's bad.
They
she was in the movie Trolls, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she was a voice in the movie Trolls.
Was she doing Funny Bone when she came?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of those people have not come back. We're back to comics now, guys. We really are. Like, most of the people rolling through are comics. We'll get the occasional influencer, but not as many as we used to.
And sometimes the influencer, if they were actually a decent stand-up and they grinded at the art, like they did come and they can do a show, I like even Corolla, when he first started podcasting, started doing live shows, he just figured out how to do stand-up. But he had so many reps from radio that he was essentially doing his radio show.
He knew what he was doing.
And then just putting together the bits, so like that doesn't really count. Like these people that are like, they'll get internet famous or social media famous, they've never had an experience doing any live show at all. And so they have no idea.
They literally just went from Instagram to like Funny Bone and it was like, here I am. What do you do? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Guys, thank you so much for listening today. We appreciate you.
Go to tomanddan.com to sign up to become a BDM. Also, go to justcallmo.com/skate if you want to go to our Cimarron Skateway party July 12th. He's renting it for 2 hours, and just go check out all the details there. It's free.
It's going to be awesome. I'm going to skate. I'm going to give it a shot.
All right.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go.
We will see you tomorrow.